We do know Gypsy Rose Blanchard is a liar and a manipulator, right? Now, Dr. Phil did interview Gypsy Rose, and there's always been a lot of questions as to why he didn't actually do his research, allegedly. Well, after watching Becca Scoop's last video, it finally clicked to me what it was. Dr. Phil gave Melissa Moore her break and hired her onto his show. Actually, let's watch this clip and then we'll discuss it after.
It's her fault Gypsy Rose Blanchard had become a viral sensation after she got released from prison. You'll come to see how Melissa was instrumental in pushing Gypsy's alleged lies about the crime, including about the victim Dee Dee Blanchard and Gypsy's co-defendant Nicholas GODEJOHN. In fact, the untruths about Dee Dee Blanchard and Nick GODEJOHN in Gypsy's book that Melissa co-authored left us speechless. Melissa is also a huge believer that Gypsy's prison sentence was utterly unjust, and Moore's behind-the-scenes antics shocked us. It's downright disturbing and appears to come from a place of pure greed. She's seeking fame and celebrity for herself. But before we get ahead of ourselves, who is Melissa Moore? Well, Melissa G. Moore popped on the Hollywood scene over 10 years ago as the daughter of the notorious Happy Face serial killer. Here's a report from 2013.
Front tonight, Melissa Moore. Her father, Keith Jesperson, is the serial killer known as the Happy Face killer. He killed at least 8 women, signed his anonymous confession letters with a smiley face. He's currently serving life sentences in prison. But of course, you saw him there with her when she was just a little girl. Melissa, thank you so much for coming out front and talking to us tonight. You just heard Angie, Ariel Castro's daughter, say, "We don't have monster in our blood."
Melissa used her status as the daughter of an infamous serial killer to launch her career after she got involved with Dr. Phil and Oprah.
It took me about a year after meeting you to get my head around that. The denial was so thick. I just could see the memories that we had as him as my father. I couldn't see the actions, the heinous actions that he committed. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. It was just too big for me.
Yeah, but you knew about all of the crimes. You were aware of all 8 of the crimes.
I was aware of them, but to me it seemed almost like a fictional story.
Yeah.
Moore's podcast, Happy Face, about her father ran for 2 seasons from 2018 to 2020. It was well received, and up until that point, Melissa had been seeking her big break in the true crime genre. Without any luck.
Basically,
reports are
to
after
people that
Dr.
commit
Phil
crimes like
felt
her dad.
sorry for Moore, she landed a modest gig as a correspondent on the Dr. Oz show. But that wasn't enough. She began looking for something to really catapult her Hollywood career to the next level. That's when Moore claims, after watching HBO's documentary about Gypsy, Mommy Dead and Dearest, she reached out to Blanchard in prison, hoping to talk Blanchard into some type of project. Gypsy turned her down at first.
It was about 7 years ago after Aaron Lee Carr's incredible documentary on HBO, Mommy Dead and Dearest. And I remember watching that and being completely fascinated by Gypsy's case. And that was Aaron did a great job of showing the beginning of Gypsy's story. And so I went to Chillicothe, the prison, to meet with Gypsy, and I asked her if I could do an interview for, at the time I was working for a daytime talk show, and she declined the interview. But we had a fabulous conversation.
However, things soon changed. Gypsy's ebook titled Released: Conversations on the Edge of Freedom was co-authored by Melissa Moore. In it, Moore claims for over 5 years, she spoke to Gypsy weekly for 30 to 45 minutes. The book is a compilation of their prison phone conversation and is an eye-opener. Moore's relationship with Gypsy became so toxic. In fact, Moore's professionalism went straight out the door. What is deeply disturbing is the role Moore played and continues to play in shaping Gypsy's false narrative and her disturbing plans to become an influencer and mommy vlogger. Remember, Moore had started out in this as a journalist investigating Gypsy. In fact, she admitted she got Gypsy's medical records and claims to know more about Gypsy's health issues than Blanchard herself.
So one of the things while doing this documentary was actually getting access to her medical records. So I've probably seen more of the medical records than even Gypsy has, case which...
Well, there's a lot of questions after watching that I have. Did Dr. Phil interview her without doing his research because he trusted Melissa Moore? Does Dr. Phil actually know that there's so much more to this? Because Melissa Moore says she has all of Gypsy's medical records, right? So that means she knows that Gypsy has this chromosome disorder. Gypsy has admitted to having this chromosome disorder. So why is this not mentioned in any interview? Why does Melissa Moore never speak on this? Is it because it would blow the whole cover? What is really going on? What's crazy to me is that Melissa Moore's father is the happy face killer. And knowing that your dad raped, killed, and did all these other things to people, does it not make you think to yourself, I don't want to pander to criminals? No, you're like, oh my gosh, this is my golden ticket. Gypsy Rose unalived her mom for sausage. And I can make a whole story out of this and make her famous. The biggest question I really truly have is, does Dr. Phil know? But I also feel like in his interviews with Gypsy Rose, there's a lot of discrepancies. There's a lot of things that she lied about. And like she reneged, or there's a lot of things she changed the story. Does he not see that? I mean, what do you guys think? Because there's a lot of things that she said differently. Has he noticed that? Does he care to notice? Have you guys ever questioned yourself about that? Melissa Moore has to know. She has to. She says she has all the medical records. Right? And we all know that Gypsy Rose's stepmom, Christy Blanchard, was handing out the medical records like they were trick-or-treat candy. So what is it that we're missing? Have you guys asked yourself that? What is it that we don't know that they know? Because there's definitely something. And there's just too much that's questionable. Not only that, if she looked up that chromosome disorder, again, I'm going to show this picture every chance I get, and y'all know that. This is the poster child for the chromosome disorder right next to me. And next to her is a picture of Gypsy Rose. Can you say twinsies? Doesn't this look like a younger version of Gypsy, and this looks like a more current picture of Gypsy? I know Miss Melissa Moore has seen it. Why is it that she continues to lie to the public? Because if the public knew about this, they would know that her mom never had Munchausen by proxy. Why hasn't she done anything about this? Do you guys have any questions like that? Also, remember Gypsy Rose said that when they've said that her mom has Munchausen by proxy, it was after she was unalived, which you can't diagnose a corpse. And she said that that was her attorneys told her that her mom had Munchausen by proxy. So that was as a defense in case she had to go to trial, and so that she wouldn't go to prison or serve less time, because that would be a mitigating factor. But why isn't that something that's spoken about? Have you guys thought about that? Drop your comments down below, because I really have a lot of questions about that.